Hello and welcome to The Bottom Line here on TVP World, where we discuss the main business and economic stories of the day. I'm your host, Marie Cato. Boosting foreign investment in Poland has been a core theme of 2025 so far. And by the looks of it, the first half of the year has paid off, with numbers speaking for themselves. The Polish Investment and Trade Agency has been managing 21 investment projects, and it's only July. Jan Kennedy brings us the details.
Poland's foreign direct investment is gaining some positive momentum. In the first half of the year, the Polish Investment and Trade Agency helped secure €2.4 billion in new projects, the highest results ever, creating 2,500 jobs along the way. Among them is a $1.25 billion battery material plant of US-based giant Ascend Elements. This positive trend follows an exceptionally weak 2024, when foreign direct investment fell by 55% to $12 billion, below even pandemic levels. However, experts see this downturn as an effect of geopolitical uncertainty and part of a natural correction after post-pandemic highs.
We have great geopolitical tensions which affects the strategic decision by each firm in the near or far future plans. I would say that after these record high level 22, 23, which was also the global value of FDI pretty high, now we are facing with a sort of a correction of the amounts.
But Poland isn't alone. According to EY's European Attractiveness Survey, investment sentiment across the continent dropped to its lowest level since 2015. And 4 in 10 surveyed investors said they refrained from investing due to weak economic growth, geopolitical risks, and high energy costs. Still, there are exceptions. Romania, for example, despite a decline in the nominal value of FDI, attracted nearly 60% more individual projects, and an Erste Group report explains why.
Romania provides a sweet spot. The nominal gross hourly wage is close to 35% of the EU27. Nominal labor productivity, on the other hand, is on par with other CEE countries.
Yet experts stress that while Romania may lead this year, Poland has a strong foundation to remain competitive in the years ahead.
The well-developed infrastructure network which characterizes Poland attracts many investors, and our pool of highly skilled labor force is also very significant element which is taken into account by investors. So in the long term, I wouldn't say that we lost versus other CEE countries.
The government in Warsaw wants to capitalize on these strengths and is working to attract global high-tech players like Intel, TSMC or Airbus. So far, however, these efforts have yet to yield concrete results. For TVP World, Jan Kennedy.
As much as we're looking at a developing track record of foreign investment in Poland, the landscape is more complex. Poland has to recognize its competitors, and Romania is definitely one of them, despite its own array of rather critical fiscal and political problems. But to get a proper bird's-eye view of Poland's FDI situation, let's bring in Arkadiusz Tarnowski, Deputy Director of Investment Support Department, directly from the Polish Investment and Trade Agency. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So the Polish Investment and Trade Agency has been dealing with a number of projects for the first half of 2025 and has been very successful. What kind of successes are we looking at? And also, how does it play a role against the backdrop of Poland's economic forecasts for this year?
In the first half of the year, we've completed 21 investment projects, which created, I would say, quite enormous amount of inflow of FDI into Poland, which totaled about 2.4 billion euro. And this amount, at least from our perspective, Polish Investment and Trade Agency, I would say it's I would say very fantastic year. Comparing to the previous year, the number increased fourfold. So actually, in the past, this strategic line of 1 billion euro in the first, let's say, half of the year we achieved only 3 times. So that's quite astonishing achievement, I would say. And that despite I would say the outside figures that showed that the overall investment climate within the Central European Union or within Europe is declining. So definitely we are going, I'm going to show that we have, let's say, 2 types of statistics. One which is our internal one, the projects that we carry out, and in our pipeline at the moment we have almost 130 active projects. So if all those projects were completed, we would be looking at about 10 billion euro inflow of FDI into Poland and creating more than 20,000 new jobs. If we look into the sectors, looking even at the material that was just brought up in terms of Romania, there is a big difference, I would say, in the types of investment that Romania is attracting and Poland is looking at. First of all,
we'll talk about Romania later, but I was just curious about what kind of role the projects that you're dealing with plays against the backdrop of Poland's economic forecasts.
They are well aligned with the strategy of what type of investment we would like to we are looking at and we would like to invite into Poland, because initially the backbone of our strategy definitely it's electromobility sector. As you may know, electromobility sector appeared basically a few years ago, and it was with one single investment project. It was 2016-17 when LG came and they invested near Wrocław. And now we are looking at Poland, which is world's 2nd exporter of lithium-ion batteries for electric vehicles. So electromobility definitely, and every subcontractor or a company which is dealing within the area of electromobility is very important. So among the projects that we have completed within the first half of the year, one of the projects, American company, predominantly present in, I would say, the value chain of electromobility stands out, because that's an investment of over 1.5 billion euro and creating over 200 jobs exactly in the recycle of e-batteries industry.
You're talking about Ascent?
Yes, we are talking about the Ascent elements that they chose Poland to invest, and that's exactly, let's say, type of the projects that we are looking at and we are competing. And as you can imagine, it takes time to successfully end such project in Poland. So sometimes there's the difference with the international statistics when you get the balance of payment, because if you look at the let's say official statistics for the flow of FDI into Poland, definitely you clearly see that there was decrease in the inflow of FDI into Poland. But what we are looking at is Poland, we as Polish Investment and Trade Agency, we haven't seen this kind of decline in investment projects. For us, the number is more or less constant or even increasing. The reason is, as I mentioned, the balance of payment. So this is like, going to a restaurant, and this is what you have, what you are about to order, and something that has been paid for already. So it's more or less the same. But it's, UNCTAD's, for example, data shows something more which is related to the past. And we, as a PAIH, Polish Investment Trade Agency, we look more into the future. What is going to happen? You
look at things from behind the scenes more so than...
a bit, yes, because, some of the projects will be completed within the 2, 3, or even 4-year period of time. So this is the time when UNCTAD is going to recognize as the real flow of money. So that's the big difference why there are discrepancies between, for example, the official statistics and our statistics.
Sure. And then with Ascent, I assume that this is probably one of your main successes of recent months. When can we expect it to come to fruition in the sort of more tangible sense, and perhaps where will this come to fruition? Can you give us some more details about it?
About this particular investment, we hope that this project will be completed up to 28. No later than 29. This is actually also how the investor intends to complete the project in Poland. So we do hope that more information will be revealed in the due time. But this is the time framework that the investor indicated while applying for public aid. Because one of the biggest advantages of Poland and of the Polish investment climate is our I would say investment incentives are the clue of why Poland is so attractive. We usually say that we have three such major assets, yardsticks that are very attractive to Poland, and why Poland is so widely chosen by many foreign investors. Because if you look at different ratings, FDI markets, according to their latest poll, Poland is among the three most frequently chosen places in Europe as their greenfield destination. The same if you look at the EY's recent poll, the same Poland is among top 5 destinations in Europe. So geography, human resources, something that I hope we'll also touch upon, and investment incentives. And ascent, big, I would say, very major combination, and why the project ended up in Poland was the perfect combination of the skilled labor that they found in Poland, together with the special financial package that was offered by the Polish government.
Okay, I just wanted to look at some of the statistics, because you argue your point of view regarding the statistics in a very interesting and obviously in a positive way. I wanted to just bring up the FDI visual, if I could just ask production to bring that up for us. So we have these visuals that show how 2023 was actually a very good year, and then 2024 was really quite a bit of a dip. A solid year versus a significant dip. And I wondered if you could just tell us what happened in 2023 versus 2024, and then give us a little bit of what you think regarding 2025. And I assume you're going to say that 2025 is going to be a great year.
That's actually what I would like to say, that 2025 is going to be a very great year, because this is even from the projects that we have currently in our pipeline. But bringing up the visual that you have just showed us, again, the reason we also need to look how UNCTAD calculates the data. The first half a year, it's real data. Second half of the year, it's prediction. So only in the following year, you will get the correction of the data for the previous year. So actually, this year, when we will get the final 2024, this figure might be amended. Of course, it's not going to change that much. But, as I mentioned, this data shows something that how it's the intra-company flows, how much capital actually outflow from Poland abroad. We, as Polish Investment Trade Agency, we concentrate only on the inflow of FDI into Poland. We do not, it's like summing up the project, we do not subtract any amount of money. And this is what you get from the balance of payment that you see in UNCTAD's statistics. This is like plus something, subtract something, and then you get the final, when you get the final figure. And this is how this discrepancy or the decrease in FDI inflow into Poland. But if you compare Poland to our neighbors in Central Eastern Europe, or even if we take into consideration entire Europe, you will see that Poland was not a lonely island, that it was only Poland that recorded declines in the inflow of FDI. Actually, Germany recorded a higher even decline in FDI projects. And basically any of the countries within Central Eastern Europe, even the Romania, which was just brought up, they also recorded a decline comparing year to year.
I actually want to move on to Romania now. Let's bring up that productivity visual that we had earlier in the report. Erste Group recently published an analysis of competitiveness in our region, and obviously competitiveness is a
Yep.
hot topic, and I just wanted to read a quote to you. Romania provides a sweet spot. The nominal gross hourly wage is close to 35% of the 27 EU states, one of the lowest in all of the EU, next to Serbia and Bulgaria. Nominal labour productivity, on the other hand, is on a par with other Central and Eastern European countries, around 80% of the EU average, end quote. Is Poland losing out to Romania? Or will Poland lose out to Romania? So obviously we have that Michelin tire story from last year.
Yes, and thank you for bringing up Michelin example, because media underlined that partially one technology line was transferred to Romania, but they forgot to mention that a few months later, Michelin announced 1 billion zloty, which is 250 million euro new investment in Olsztyn with the sustainable new technology. So this is exactly when you think, when you are a labor-oriented project, you think of Romania. But when you think of labor force-oriented, skilled, talented people, you think of Poland. Another example, if you look at the map of Romania, about 40% of FDI projects which ended in Romania are concentrated around the capital, Bucharest. In Poland, it's decentralization of, let's say, the educational system. Why? Because investors usually look where is the most highly educated people are coming from. So Poland, it's an exception comparing to Central Eastern European Union, because if you look at Slovakia, I don't want to say where is the major educational center, Czech Republic, Hungary, Romania. In Poland, in every single region, you get a university. So you get access to well-educated labor force. And this is one of the big advantages that foreign investors prefer Poland to other countries, that it's very dispersed comparing to our neighbors. And this is what Poland was 15 years ago, that Poland really attracted and was number one in terms of labor-oriented projects. Nowadays, we moved, and what we are very fond of is our knowledge-based processes, that we move towards the 21st century, and this is something that we want to especially attract, and this is exactly if we move towards semiconductors. In semiconductors industry, what is really needed, it's not a cheap labor force, it's well-educated labor force. That's why Poland, together with Saxony in Germany, Moravia in Czech Republic, we formed a triangle. And this is the semiconductors hub of Europe.
Well, you're reading my mind, because I have to squeeze in one more question before we end our conversation. Do we have any information about Intel coming back to Poland after it suspended its activity in 2024?
This project has been suspended already for, I believe, 8 months. And we still believe that Intel, after all the reconstruction, they just got the new management. So we believe that the new management board needs some time to see what are the projects around the world. And we do hope that we will sit together with the new management board of Intel, and we will talk about the future of the project here in Poland.
And one last question, what about TSMC, the largest global semiconductor manufacturer? I mean, Poland wants to get them over here. They started in Dresden. What are the prospects for Poland?
And that's they chose Dresden, but as I said, we are a very frequent guests to Taiwan. One large business delegation was the beginning of July. Beginning of September, we are going to take part in the largest semicon fair in Taiwan, and Taiwan already recognized Poland as a crucial player in the semiconductors hub in Europe, and they all agreed that Poland, together with Czech Republic and not Germany but Saxony, are going to be the most important players. And this is exactly the momentum that we will bring up, and we hope that in the future, when we meet next time, I will tell you that we have really great success story to share with you.
Okay, looking forward to it. Arkadiusz Tarnowski, Deputy Director of the Investment Support Department at the Polish Investment and Trade Agency. Thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you very much.
And that concludes the bottom line for today. I was your host, Marie Cato. We bring you the best of regional business Monday to Friday at 5:10 CET on TVP World. And in the meantime, for the latest in regional business, follow us on X and on tvpworld.com. Goodbye.